Coming up tonight, House Republicans scramble for a new speaker as a top contender drops his bid.
Citrus TV reporter Megan Mystery tells us about a familiar coffee shop now open for business in a new location.
And President Obama issues an apology for a deadly mistake. The news you need to know.
Citrus TV News live at 6 starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Max Darrow.
And I'm Jessica Mendelson. It's been a debate since the Columbine shooting in 1999, and now it's back in the spotlight with recent mass shootings. How best to protect schools from such deadly events? That's our top story tonight.
It was 1 week ago today when we came on the air with news of a deadly school shooting in Oregon that killed 9 people.
Now victims are being remembered and many are revisiting the debates surrounding gun rights and campus safety.
It got us asking the question, would SU be ready if a similar event ever happened here? Well, Citrus TV News anchor and reporter Hunter Sines went to see what procedures are in place and how students feel.
It definitely hit close to home being a college student.
SU senior Brittany Noblin is talking about the deadly school shooting that shocked an Oregon community last Thursday.
It definitely scared me that it's a possibility that it could happen on any campus.
That's why Associate Chief of DPS John Sardino is prepping his officers and students on what to do if bullets ever ring out at SU.
We're ready. We train regularly on active shooter situations.
However, students like Nick Weston still aren't sure if the school would be ready.
I think DPS could definitely do a little bit more as far as preparing students, but I also think it takes some self-reflection from the students themselves.
DPS says the easiest way to get a hold of students is via text. That's why they'll send an orange alert straight to your cell phone in the middle of class as soon as an emergency happens.
Officers say once you get that alert, to either run for safety or shelter in place, staying hidden from the gunman. Still, Officer Sardino says in order to prevent such deadly events, if you see something, say something.
Reporting that a friend is struggling is actually doing them a favor and allowing the university or their parents or somebody to try to get them the help that they need.
Something many in the Oregon community wished had happened before it was too late. Hunter Sines, Citrus TV News.
Syracuse students and law enforcement aren't the only ones thinking about school shootings. Since last week's incident, people all over the country have been talking about guns, mental health, and mass killings.
Tonight on Talking Points, Citrus TV is joining these conversations. Talking Points executive producer Claire Moran joins us now to give us a preview of tonight's full coverage.
Since last week's shooting at a college in Oregon, politicians and journalists across the country have been talking about mass killings in America. Who or what is responsible for them, and how do we stop them from happening? Tonight on Talking Points, we're joining the conversation too. In fact, we're devoting almost all of our show to the topic. First, Talking Points correspondent Elijah Shama is going to break down the statistics surrounding mass killings. How often do they actually happen? What weapons are people using, and who are the victims and who are the perpetrators? Then Ray Merrick sits down with our host to talk about some of the supposed causes of mass killings. Are violent video games responsible? What about our failed mental health system? Or is the impact of these things exaggerated? And Tom Beckley-Forrest gives us a history of mass shootings in America and pays tribute to the victims of some of the deadliest events. We'll cap our conversation off with a debate between our correspondents Josh Carney and Johnny Oliver about guns and gun control in America. Tune into Talking Points live at 7:30.
Utica College is cutting tuition by 42% beginning next school year. These cuts will bring the cost of tuition to just under $20,000. Utica is also cutting total student costs by 35%. That will bring the total cost to just over $30,000. Utica College President Todd Hutton is calling the reduction a pathway to affordability. And University Lectures has announced their latest guest speakers, Charles Blow and Ross Douthit. The lecture is titled Social Inequality, the How, Why, and What to Do. Blow is a New York Times op-ed columnist covering the liberal view of politics. Douthit, the youngest New York Times columnist ever, covers the conservative perspective.
SU Chancellor Kent Syverud is downplaying the idea of a university budget crisis. Yesterday, in a university Senate meeting, Syverud reported a balanced 2015 budget of $1.2 billion with an additional $4 million in reserves. Now, many employees no longer face layoffs after many took the voluntary buyout. And students have long frequented recess coffee off Westcott for a jolt of caffeine. Now the shop is catering to a different clientele. CitrusTV's Megan Mystery tells us where the shop expanded to and how its owners are sticking to buying local.
When Jesse Dano and Adam Williams bought Recess Coffee off Westcott almost 9 years ago, the pair brewed a business that supported buying, selling, and eating local foods as much as possible.
And younger 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 and younger.
Recess grounds their coffee and prepares their pastries like this cookie at their headquarter location. They work to support the Buy Local movement by partnering with businesses and farms to provide ingredients such as this for all of their food. While not all of Recess's food is local, General Manager of the Syracuse Real Food Co-op, Jeremy DeCherio, still thinks that their expansion will be good for the Buy Local movement.
The idea of keeping more and more money locally to sort of bring the community up, where a lot of the old manufacturing jobs that were local have moved out. You know, now it's a whole new world of food and local retailers that are bringing jobs back.
But Executive Director of Syracuse First, Chris Fowler, says that's not so.
I think it's sort of the other way around, actually. So the movement sort of supports them.
Fowler says that a strong movement with a lot of support inspires potential business owners to take a leap of faith and encourages current business owners, like Recess Coffee, to expand.
And they take it from their, a home-based project to an independent business.
The pair of Recess Coffee owners hope that while the expansion will help grow their business, that it will also grow the businesses of the ones it partners with.
Coming up next, further shakeups for the leadership of FIFA soccer.
Plus, a hero who saved a Paris-bound train from a terrorist attack is back in the hospital.
CitrusTV News will be right back.
I'm here in Walnut Park where the Daily Orange is hosting their first ever Fall Fest from 5 to 7. Come on by for some free food, changing leaves, and some cool weather. But when are we going to see those freezing temperatures? Stay tuned for my forecast after the break. Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
The U.S. airman who survived being slashed as he helped tackle a terrorist on board a Paris-bound train is back in the hospital after being stabbed.
Police say Airman First Class Spencer Stone was out with his friends in his home state of California when he got into a fight and was stabbed multiple times.
The incident happened outside a bar in Sacramento. Authorities are still searching for the suspects. Doctors say Stone is expected to make a full recovery.
While many House Republicans fight to become the next Speaker of the House, one of the reported frontrunners is no longer in the running.
House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy said today he will not seek John Boehner's seat.
As a result, the House Republicans tweeted the vote has been postponed.
Reports say Jason Chaffetz and Daniel Webster are other candidates that could fill the position.
Current Speaker Boehner will step down at the end of the month. He is now calling on Congressman Paul Ryan from Wisconsin to run for the position.
This morning from the Oval Office, President Obama spoke by telephone with Doctors Without Borders International President Dr. Joanne Liu to apologize and express his condolences for the MSF staff and patients who were killed and injured when a U.S. military airstrike mistakenly struck an MSF field hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan over the weekend.
President Obama is now offering a public apology after a United States airstrike hit a Doctors Without Borders hospital, killing nearly 24 people.
The victims were a mix of doctors and patients. Mr. Obama sent his condolences to victims' families and promised an in-depth investigation of the bombing.
Doctors Without Borders is calling the incident a war crime.
FIFA's president Sepp Blatter is now officially suspended. The decision comes after a Swiss investigation into an alleged corruption.
Michel Platini, the vice president of FIFA and president of UEFA, as well as Secretary General Jerome Volke, have also been suspended.
CitrusTV's KJ Vaughn will be here with us later to catch you up with the rest in sports.
2 U.S. officials say Russian missiles have landed in Iran. According to United States intelligence, the missiles were meant for Syria.
It is unclear if there have been any casualties. Several buildings were damaged from the bombs, although it is unclear where exactly they crashed. And the chief of NATO has given the okay to deploy forces to help protect Turkey from Russian forces.
Over the weekend, Turkey reported multiple violations of its airspace by Russian warplanes.
Russia has been increasing military presence in Syria, which raises serious concerns for NATO members.
Many NATO countries have increased their military numbers to help defend its allies against Russia.
Well, on a lighter note, Max, I know tensions are hot over there in the Middle East, but the temperatures are going down.
55 degrees in Ankara, the capital of Turkey. But Jamie, how's the weather looking here?
Well, it's looking pretty good, Max. If you take a look at the picture next to me, it looks like a beautiful day here in central New York. Although it was a little overcast this morning, the clouds did clear out and we had a beautiful sun shining through during the rest of the day. Thank you, Colby Leamer, for this great shot. Now, the next time you see a cool sky or a weather-related image, take a picture of it and tweet it using the hashtag SUWXPics. Your image may just appear on our show next week. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter for any weather-related updates after the show. And as you saw earlier, crowds of people are currently enjoying the fall weather in Walnut Park. But is there a chance we could see some freezing temperatures this weekend? Don't go anywhere. Stay on Citrus TV News live at 6 for my full weather forecast after the break.
Staring contest!
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today.
Aww, you should pick that up.
Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look! Your crush is looking at you.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet,
what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Well, Max, I hope the nice weather continues long enough to check out Fall Fest after the show.
You know, I couldn't agree more, Jess. Now, why don't we turn to Citrus TV weather expert Jamie Weiss, who has some insight on how long the nice weather will last. Jamie?
Well, hopefully it'll last pretty long. Today was a beautiful fall day in Syracuse, and I definitely passed some leaves on the ground as I came into the studio. That's a telltale sign that fall is officially here. Our current temperature is about 65 degrees under partly cloudy skies, and we weren't the only ones to enjoy some beautiful weather today. Across the country, states were witnessing highs mostly in the 70s and 80s. Phoenix, Arizona had 92 degrees. My home of Dallas had 89 degrees, and our rivals this weekend for football experienced 87 degrees in Florida. We'll see how they acclimate to our cooler temperatures this weekend. Unfortunately, it won't be dry when the Bulls fly into Syracuse. We're expecting rain as early as tonight. If you look next to me, we can see this large weather pattern moving into the area, but it looks like it's coming from the Great Lakes. As we zoom out, we can see the precipitation is forming due to the low pressure system moving east, mixing with the warmer high pressure system. Moving south, this mixture is also directly above the Great Lakes. Luckily, precipitation won't cause our evening temperature to be too much cooler. We're looking at 53 degrees in Syracuse and similar temperatures across the country. When we wake up tomorrow, it'll be 64 degrees with more rain in our forecast. Looking ahead at the rest of the weekend, the rain should move east by the coast by Saturday, so we can enjoy a few more days of sunshine. By Monday, all of the moisture should be evaporated, so we can enjoy a lot more sunshine come Monday.
All right, Jamie, so it looks like we have some mix of rain and sun coming our way. Is it a good weekend to go pumpkin picking?
It is a good weekend to go pumpkin picking. Wait until about Saturday afternoon, and then we should be pretty dry for the rest of the weekend.
Great.
74 degrees on Monday. I feel like we haven't seen that since the end of summer.
I know, it's been a while, but we are seeing a little bit of heat for the coming week. Won't last too long, though. Come Wednesday, I think we're going to dip in temperatures again.
Great, thank you so much. A new study suggests those lazy mornings could cause weight gain. The study by the Sleep Research Society and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine found sleeping just 1 extra hour can increase your body mass index by 2 points. Scientists are yet to discover the cause of the correlation. And Amazon now has an arts and craft market. The section titled Handmade at Amazon was made to rival the online store Etsy. Amazon's vice president says nothing in the store will be factory made or mass produced. All products will include a photo of the artist and a bio of where they are from.
More universities are beginning to sell alcohol at football games, and Syracuse is one of them. Due to rising costs in both coaching salaries and resources for athletes, many universities are trying to find ways to increase revenue. These handful of schools that have started selling alcohol are known as the Group of Five and include Minnesota, Colorado, Wake Forest, Miami, and Syracuse. And Dell is looking into buying longtime tech rival EMC. While EMC has evolved over the years from a data storage company to a conglomerate of businesses, EMC as a whole has been underperforming. As a result, many investors have called for the breakup of the company. If Dell takes over EMC, it would mark the end of one of the last great East Coast tech companies.
The first ever Latin American Music Awards show will premiere tonight. It is a Spanish language version of Dick Clark's American Music Awards. Nominees include Enrique Iglesias, Selena Gomez, and Ricky Martin, with performances from Daddy Yankee, Yandel Furcuro, and Paulino Rubio. The program will also feature a tribute to the Queen of Salsa, Celia Cruz, and will be hosted by Lucero. The red carpet pre-show starts at 7 on Telemundo and NBC Universo. The 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees were announced yesterday. Janet Jackson is getting her first nomination, while other acts such as Deep Purple, 9 Inch Nails, and The Spinners are on their second and third nominations. The disco band Chic has earned their record 10th nomination and are hoping to finally be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The inductees will be announced in December. And now, KJ Vaughn has your full sports update.
Coming up on sports, we take a look at the SU football team's upcoming matchup down in Tampa and talk about the #1 ranked SU field hockey team. All this and more after the break.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
SU football goes down to Tampa this Saturday to take on the 1-3 South Florida Bulls. This is the first game of the year that the Orange will not be in the safe confines of the Carrier Dome. Cuse does get starting QB Eric Dungy and wide receiver Herb Phillips back for the game, so there's a little glimmer of hope. As the Orange prepare to take on USF, Coach Scott Schaefer seems to be focusing on team focus.
For us, it's really trying to just stay within the framework of what are we going to do for the next 5 seconds of this play to win a game. And I think, once again, Mark, the simplicity of keeping it like that is probably the strength in our coaching staff and in athletes that understand that. Anytime you look too far down the road or backwards, you lose focus on the task at hand, and that's when you get hit in the mouth. So we don't want to get hit in the mouth. We want to attack it, and say, okay, take a deep breath, next 5 seconds, let's go. And that approach is probably something that I need to make sure I continue to do the rest of my career.
For those of you who don't know, Syracuse has a field hockey team, and they are pretty good. Cuse just came off a weekend where they outscored their two opponents by a combined score of 14-1. Now, this was against non-conference competition, but SU is still undefeated on the season and has a 3-0 conference mark. After the domination last weekend, Cuse reached a new level of excellence. This week, CitrusTV's Nick Dugan has more.
On Tuesday, the SU field hockey team jumped powerhouse UConn to claim the #1 spot in this week's national rankings, a ranking that has eluded the undefeated Orange since nearly 3 years ago to the day. While head coach Ange Bradley believes the ranking is proof of the team's hard work, she says it means very little at this point in the season.
Really, if you ask me that 60 days from now, it's going to mean a heck of a lot, and we'd probably be the happiest people in the world. And for today, it's a reward of the work we've done, but it means nothing at this point in time.
Syracuse makes the trip to Louisville to battle the 11th-ranked Cardinals on Friday amidst all the media excitement and new #1 ranking. SU forward Alma Fine says that the key to victory will be defensive containment.
They're really fast, so we have to make sure we stop the play really fast, and I think put high pressure on them so they can't even get there.
And most of all, Coach Bradley says that the team cannot lose sight of the task at hand.
We've got to go ready, focused, and Louisville's going to be a really, really tough game. They're a great opponent, and playing them at home is going to be just an awesome challenge for us.
Nick Dugan, Citrus TV.
Staying with women's sports, the SU women's soccer team goes on the road to take on the 16th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. In the last 4 games, all losses for Cuse, the Cuse has been outscored 12-2. Now, this could be a tough game for the Orange as they try to pull off the upset, because Notre Dame just came off a loss to an unranked team, and this could have implications on how they want to prepare for the unranked Orange. The game starts at 7 o'clock tonight. Hockey fans rejoice. The NHL season started last night, and tonight, Buffalo Sabres fans are excited to see their team's opening game against the Ottawa Senators at home in Buffalo. The Sabres are looking to do better than they did last season, which the team wrapped up with a 23-51 record. This was Buffalo's third losing season. None of this matters, though, as it's a new season and anything can happen. Buffalo fans are also excited to see the number 2 draft pick in the NHL draft last June play. Jack Eichel is his name, and we want to see how he's going to do in the regular season. The puck drops at 7 p.m. tonight.
So KJ, talking SU football, Eric Dungey is playing. What do you expect to see from him?
Well, if you're a Q's fan, you want to see Dungey get back into the flow of the offense. Obviously, he missed the whole game last week against LSU before the bye. And if you watch that game, the backup, Mahoney, had a little trouble in the first half adjusting to the offense. You hope that Dungey can get in there and basically reclaim the role he was on before the injury.
So baseball's pretty exciting right now. What's happening with the 2 playoff games that are going on tonight?
So the 2 playoff games, first, the one is on right now. I might have just wrapped up. It is Texas at Toronto, and the Rangers were actually up 5-3 at the top of the 9th last I checked, which is kind of surprising considering Toronto had a great offense this year and was home for the first game. The later game tonight features the wild card winning Astros traveling to Kansas City to take on the defending AL champs from last year, who were a wild card when they went all the way to the World Series.
KJ, thanks for being with us tonight. After the break, Jamie Weiss will give us one last look at the weather.
We'll be right back.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. Now she's holding on for dear life.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Back with the weather. I know it's supposed to rain this weekend, so tomorrow morning when I wake up, should I have my raincoat?
You should definitely wear your raincoat, pull out the rain boots. It's supposed to start raining from tonight at 9 all the way until tomorrow into the late afternoon.
So if I don't have a raincoat, do you think I'll be able to last until winter? When's it going to start snowing?
Well, so far, like I told you earlier, on Monday it's going to heat up to the 70s, and then we're going to start to see a slow cool down. My guess is Halloween, but we'll have to see how it pans out.
Snowy Halloween. Sounds interesting. Thanks, Jamie. Well, it's a not-so-miserable day on London's West End today as a hit show celebrates a big anniversary.
That's right. Les Miserables has been hearing the people sing for 30 years.
Les Mis became the longest-running musical on the West End back in 2006, surpassing The Phantom of the Opera.
The only play that's run longer is The Mousetrap, which opened in 1952. Fun fact, I've actually never seen Les Mis.
Well, you're going to have to watch it this weekend when it starts raining. It's a perfect idea.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure you check us out online at CitrusTVnews.net.
And follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News and like us on Facebook while you're online. I'm Jessica Mendelson.
And I'm Max Darrow. From all of us here at Citrus TV, enjoy the rest of your night.